or testing Transportation Board. All right. So, Transportation Board Part 1039 Exemptions. Exemption with the Agricultural Commodities, grain, soybeans, and sunflower seeds of the miscellaneous exemption. 13 railroad and transportation exemption. For transportation rule. From the new highway trailer. 17 practice for the contract exemptions. 20 storage leases. 22 exemption of the service payments of the Elkinson's Act and related provisions. All right. 1039-10 exemption for the agricultural commodities except for the grain and soybeans for the sunflowers, the rail transportation I've listed below, exempt from the provision Title 4 with the Title 49, except for the carry with the may continue to comply with the board accounting reporting requirements include the brief statement of the annual reports operation. Under this exemption must maintain with the rate in charge of the railroad's regulation for the traffic move with the under exemption at the principal officer subject to the inspection sent letter notification to the docket within 30 days of the fact that they are using the exemption tariff to the transportation of the miscellaneous commodities will no longer apply to the except and to the extent that the adopted with the carrier quotation that the carrier commodities except under this decision transportation commodity code number are, and then it figures that, and then it returns to and shall brave the articles additional digit for the surface transportation commodity code shall be those codes numbered in effective January 1st, 1979, shown in the transportation commodity code 1G as transportation boards transportation commodity code 6001C. Nothing else exemption construed to affect the other jurisdiction under section 10502 or the ability to enforce the decision absent the decision made under the authority of the exemption should affect unless I revoked by the subsequent order of the board. 1039-11 the miscellaneous commodity exemption commodities except the indicate the paragraph with the transportation commodity listed. Look up the provision title U.S. Standard code subtitle 4 the transportation commodity code numbers of the identify the exempt commodity with the list in fact the effective date of the tariff shall be in birth with additional digits, and then it goes on to show this of these exemption with the following mark of the dominance has been made over. However, the exemption does not be effective in any way with existing relation agreements and prescription allowance level of the compensation regarding the use of the equipment whether the railroad only including the car period mileage allowance. They also include the exemption of the antitrust law of the necessary to negotiate with the car service regulation mandatory interchange with the equipment that would maintain the achieve the trust administrator shall the exemption construe the effect of the class 3 railroad protections in this case the box car conditions. Carriers must continue to comply with the board accounting with the reporting requirement of the railroad tariff pertaining with the transportation of these miscellaneous commodities will no longer apply. The exemption shall remain in effect unless the modified revokes the sequent order of this board. 1039-13 railroad intermodal transportation C part 90 1039 14 boxcar transportation exemption rule the rule rail transportation all of the commodity of the box except for the provision of 49 U.S. Code 4 except for the otherwise provided in this section. Board retained with the jurisdiction of the following areas: car hire and car service, mandatory interchange for the equipment, reciprocal switching in the joint use of the facility, car supply with the freight car pooling agreement, the freight rate to applicable with the boxcar that originating terminating the industrial facility service, the physically of the class of the rail car with the extension for the paragraph C4 and C5 of section 2.1 except the paragraph C2 with the section carry the authorizing with the following action respect for the boxcar equipment charges of the empty move with the request of the car owner association may the board with the empty mileage charge of the subject of the action with 35% with the 35 cents per mile adjusted for the inflation deflation with the cost adjusted that result radically with the board part 290 with the railroad coverage either with these factors 30 cents will be treated as acting like the October 1982 store and empty powers were claiming the car hire payments beginning the operation of the 72 hour for the period of the car negotiated the bilateral agreements governing the car hire was empty the movement of the stores of the paragraphs 1 and 2 of the section will not be excluded. Carry to find C2-1 of the second number will apply with the of the boxcar December 30th, 1983, which is only leased for the carrier when they would have qualified to exclude the carrier for the report. Excluded carrier. Excluded carrier is a class 3 carrier or class 2 carrier not affiliated with one or more class 1 carrier. If the affiliated class 2 carrier must be more than 50% of the own more than one class 1 carriers. The boxcar excluding paragraph C2 the same will exclude with the owner of the class bears class 3 carriers report more with the boxcar own leased two of the club carrier that October 31st October 1986 and October 1990 as home the boxcar has not with the lease and the carried during the period of the exclusion will not only during any of the periods excluded with the boxcar on lease class 3 will be appeared on 1039-14 C2 B The carrier will thereafter, per purpose of the rule, be treated as has been classified the carrier on December 10, 1983. Nothing in paragraph 2 of this section will have the effect of the right of any carrier negotiated bilateral agreements governing the higher knowledge rates of the traffic circular number OT10 with any black scar suit. The paragraph C2 of this section will remain the effect of the scar of the January 1st, 1986 with any modifications. These are higher form will not apply with the scar with respect to any exclude the black scar owner. The exclude the scar higher shall remain in effect and the improvements of subsequent January 1st, 1985 excluded by the OT37 criteria. The same one action OT37 real here's part number 384. Sorry, 334 with the end of the rail car high proceeding with the efficiency ratio and the physical improvement of the sequence December 1st, 1990 excluded by performed on the OT for the criteria the criteria not result of the increase of the surcharge car higher rates of such cars. No freight car made in effect up to April 1st, 1985 that apply the traffic move with the black scar originates industrial facility serve physically with the clarity rail carrier terminate well the black scar reporting marks of the car higher rate applicable with the black car using any carrier higher discounts in the form of the reclaims otherwise able to any of the carriers respective of the black car except the prohibited above carriers may use the ownership of the cars for identification purposes of establishing a rate the provision of the Title 49 U.S. Standard Code 100705 100705A remains the routes will affect the routes applicable to black car trafficking or any terminated industrial facility of the physical of the Class 3 rail carrier. The following carriers are not regarded as a Class 3 and affiliated Class 2 for purposes of this section. And then it goes on. The carriers must contain with the accounting requirement with the retaining exempted transportation combined with black car will no longer apply, but the exemption shall be remain effective unless modified with revoked and subsequent order of the board. All right, 1039, 1039-16 exemption of a new highway travel of the rail transportation new highways of the is not otherwise exempt from the provision Title 40 Title 4 of the exemption carriers must the boarding requirements the exemption will remain effective unless modified revoked and subsequent order of the board. All right. 1039-17 protected service contracts protected services against hold the provided behalf of the rail carriers except for the companies except for the requirement of the Title 49 U.S. Standard Code 111105. Nothing the exemption shall be true of the effect of the jurisdiction under Section 100505 or ability and forth of the designation and any subsequent under the authority exemption section with the exemption shall remain in effect modified revoked and subsequent order of the board. All right, 1039-20 Division Title 40 U.S. Standard Code 4 exemption with Title 49 U.S. Standard Code 11123. Nothing exemption is true with the effect of the jurisdiction of 10502 or ability to enforce the decision subsequent decision made under the authority exemption shall affect the less modified revoked or subsequent decisions. 1039-22 exemption of the certain payments of the commitments from the Elkins Act of the relay the provision. Whenever the rail carrier provide payments of the national development activity maintain make commitments regarding future transportation and reasonable determinants of the payments would not be eligible inclusion of the rail contract with Title 49 U.S. Standard Code 1070 and such transportation should be exempt with the Title 49 U.S. Standard Code 13702A, 13702B, and T 1092, 10904, 10903A, subject to the conditions set forth in paragraph B through E, with if an individual or the person will believe that the transportation eligible inclusion one or more contracts with Title 49 U.S. Standard Code 10713, the person exclusive of the remedy should request the board is determined the board so for the transaction no longer exempted. Section commencement the 60 day after the date of the board of determination. Sections on paragraph A of the section shall be submitted with all the other applicable provisions Title 49 U.S. Standard Code subpart 4 of the antitrust law. The activity does not favor the board exclude the jurisdiction. Actual movement of the traffic the carrier must file with the record of the tariff in Section 10713. Contract conforms all with the applicable provision in your state's Commerce Act. The paragraph shall not interpret the limit that remove the effect of the exemption granted under the paragraph of the section respect to any of the payments or the commitment made prior to the filing of the rate of the contract. Whenever the person filed with the board with the petition and revoke the exemption granted with the section of the specific transaction record shall have the burden of showing the respect for the transaction requirements paragraph A of the section within the care of the reasonable expected before undertaking the payments or the commitment of such payment service with the commitments result within the reasonable time contribution the carrier is going concern. Value of the exemption shall remain effective unless modified and revoked in subsequent order of the board. 1040 through 189 is reserved.